The best of Broadway is on full display each and every week here on The Broadway Show. Emmy and Oscar winner Aaron Sorkin's got a new show on Broadway this spring. It's his adaptation of the classic Lerner and Loewe musical Camelot, minus the magic wands. Paul Wontorek talked to one of the stars of Camelot, Andrew Burnap.
Andrew,
hey.
So good to see you.
So good to see you.
Lincoln Center, your new home.
Here we are.
I mean, this is like one of the most beautiful spots in New York City. It's kind of cool to make this like your
It doesn't get any
workplace.
better than this.
Yeah. You're playing the king. You're
that I
King
am.
Arthur in Camelot, and
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a king here since the King of Siam.
I think
The King and I.
you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, maybe in one of these other theaters there might have been something with a king, but that was a big theatrical king here.
Oh yes, exactly. Yes. So I have now been dubbed the new king.
It's true. It's true. The crown has made it clear. The climate must be perfect all the years.
How did this come to you?
I didn't really know Camelot that well.
I feel like a lot of people don't really know Camelot, especially
Yeah.
younger people.
Yeah, and so I knew the legend, just sort of tangentially, but when I saw who was attached, I kind of didn't even need to read the new script or anything. I was
Meaning
sort of
Bart Scher, the director.
Bart and Aaron Sorkin and
that's
Lincoln Center.
Yeah, Lincoln Center.
I was sort of like, I would be very stupid to say no to this.
This is a really good role, and King Arthur is obviously a very iconic character. You know, there's a lot of mystery around, wonder what the king is doing tonight. It's like your first song. And, it's all about sort of unstripping this royalty, this character. And we obviously we love this in pop culture too. I mean, just look at the Harry Meghan news, right? I mean, we love to sort of see this.
Yep.
And this musical kind of does that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you see the guy in the beginning, and then you kind of really get to know him.
There's a line in the show where it says, people are entertained by all things royal, which is true.
Wow.
Especially Americans, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of other and away from us across the pond, there's an obsession there. And I mean, it goes back a very, very long time, but you talk about Princess Diana and then her two kids, and there's just such a fascination with royalty, and this show obviously definitely deals with that.
And then there's also the Kennedy thing with this show.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe when I did the research that a week after JFK was assassinated, Jackie Kennedy gave an interview and said that he loved going to sleep, right? Like they listened to Camelot.
He was obsessed with Camelot, for the idealism that also matched up with Kennedy's agenda. And he referred to himself as Lancelot, which I find really interesting, that he didn't call himself Arthur. But I guess it makes sense.
So he wanted to be the sexy stranger who comes in and shakes everything up.
It's exactly right, yeah. Not the old musty king.
So what about you? Do you think you would say you'd rather be a Lancelot or a King Arthur? I mean...
Oh, 100% King Arthur.
Yeah? So what do you like about this guy?
Well, in a world of cynicism and detachment and sarcasm, he earnestly believes that humanity can be better, and we can actually create systems that provide for society's most vulnerable and actually do it well. Not in a way that is a power grab or a sort of brushing off of the world's problems. He really truly believes that, and he's also such a little nerd, which I identify with big time. And he has such a big heart and loves people and what people can be, and his greatest enemy is people in the end, human nature.
In short, there's simply not a more genius thought or proudly ever after than here in Camelot.
You know, I was thinking about the guys who played this. Obviously, Richard Burton, originally on Broadway, and then Richard Harris did the film. There was actually a revival of Camelot at one point. Richard Burton did it in this theater.
After the original?
Yes,
Wow.
And obviously Richard Harris wound up doing it on stage a bunch. So it's interesting. It's like a role these guys kind of couldn't shake.
I know,
they got really associated with it, and then they kind of wanted to keep doing it. Do you feel that pull already?
Absolutely. I mean, it's sort of an actor's dream. You get to go from a new king filled with self-doubt and very scared of speaking to women to someone who has no choice but to rule a kingdom. It runs the full gamut, literally, of being a king. So, which is, I can totally understand wanting to do it for your whole life.
Do you remember the first time you ever came here to Lincoln Center?
Okay, you ready for this story?
Yeah.
This was not the first time I came to Lincoln Center, but I was supposed to come and see South Pacific,
Oh, okay.
which was directed by Bartlett Shear.
Yes.
Instead of coming to see South Pacific with my entire family, I faked being sick at home so that I could throw a party at my parents' house in high school. It was
This is the guy we're dealing with.
This is who you're dealing with. It was a lackluster party. Nothing that I wanted to happen happened, and my parents enjoyed South Pacific. The first time I came to Lincoln Center was to see My Fair Lady. I absolutely loved it, and moreover, loved the space. I had never been inside a theater like that. It's such a giant space, but it's also rarely intimate.
I'm assuming when you find out that you got like the King Arthur offer to do Camelot, in your head, do you immediately just picture that stage and think like, oh my God, I get to perform on that stage?
100%. I mean, when there was just curiosity about whether or not I wanted to do it,
Yeah.
I was just excited to be able to do it. And then there's always that moment when you get the thing that you've always wanted, that you have the thought of, oh my God, I have to do it. And that
Right.
was when I started getting a little panicked and a little
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, this is actually gonna require so much of me. But it's been, I really have to say, it's been one of the most joyful, easy experiences. Not easy in the sense that it's not challenging, but easy in the sense that it's full of ease. Everyone is so lovely and good and at the top of their game, so I feel very supported.
I realize I haven't actually seen you since Tony night when
Yeah.
you won your Tony in 2021 for the 2020 Tonys. The Inheritance.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic performance.
Thank you.
But when you win a Tony, do you feel pressure for like what the next thing is?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think anytime you are sort of validated in that way, it increases expectation, which in my mind is never a good thing. Not that I feel it from other people, but from myself, I feel a sort of that okay, you were given this thing for this show that you did. What else can you do? I definitely feel that.
Do you still get the excitement? You haven't been in New York that long. You're still kind of new to Broadway. You
Yes.
just happen to be a Tony winner.
Yeah. I still get nervous. I get nervous, I get excited. I think the nerves just point to how much I do care about it. If I didn't get
Yeah.
nervous, I'd be worried. I like challenging myself and doing new things, even though that's sometimes hard, and you can fail miserably in front of a lot of people, and but that's what makes it so exciting. And if it wasn't exciting, why even do it?
I mean, look at this theater.
I know.
mean, it's so crazy.
It's
You're
amazing.
like you're working inside an institution.
It's so amazing, yeah. It's my birthday was on Sunday. And
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. And I turned and I sort of stood out here and thought, what would 14-year-old Andrew, who threw that party, say about all of this? And I think he would be on the floor. In some sort of odd way, I saw this for myself, but not so concretely, and certainly not doing a major musical at Lincoln Center. So I feel truly full of gratitude. I get very teary-eyed when I think of how lucky I am to be doing this, and all of us, and doing it here in particular is like, I don't know, it feels like I'm gonna wake up from a dream sometime soon.